Tab S9 Series Jaipur Literature Festival at the Sansthan Galaxy Tab S9 Series front lawn. The festival flyer with details of the full program is available for purchase at the information desk. We are delighted to introduce Trust, presented by Team 9. Pulitzer Prize winner author Hernan Diaz's recent work, Trust, is a riveting tale that challenges the myths surrounding wealth and fictions that often pass for history. Following the different versions of the story of a Wall Street businessman and his wife in the years leading up to the Great Depression, the novel strikingly captures the human weakness for self-deception. Winning the 2023 Pulitzer Prize for Fiction, the novel will also be adapted into a TV series. In conversation with art critic and writer Katie Kitamura, Diaz reflects on the concept of trust as both a moral quality and a financial arrangement, as through virtue and money were synonymous. Hernan Diaz is a Pulitzer Prize winning and New York Times best-selling author of Trust, and In the Distance, his work has been published in 35 languages. May I kindly invite Hernan on stage? Let's have a big round of applause for Hernan and Katie Kitamura. Katie Kitamura's most recent novel is Intimacies, one of the New York Times 10 best books for 2021 and one of Barack Obama's favorite books of 2021. The recipient of the Rome Prize in Literature and the Prix Littéraire Lucien Barrière, her work has been translated into 21 languages as is being adapted for film and television. We'd also like to introduce Mrs. Ashifa, who's from the Nupur Sansthan. Teamworks, in keeping with inclusive approach of our deaf community, is providing sign language interpretation services at the Jaipur Literature Festival 2024. Can we have a big round of applause for everyone for our panels today? Thank you. So, Katie, over to you.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you to the festival, and it's wonderful to be here in Jaipur with you. Hello. I'm excited to be talking about Trust. It's one of my favorite novels. It has this extraordinary cast of characters. It has a world that is incredibly precisely and persuasively drawn, but it's also very much a novel that's about a theme, which is money and how it grows, how it circulates through society. Can I ask, was that the starting point for the novel, this kind of theme?
I feel this is the point where writers start really telling fictions about their own process and present this tidy narrative of how things came to be. The beginnings for me are either very vaporous, vague, and elusive, or a big pile of burning garbage out of which I'm trying to solve into something. It's chaos, is what I'm trying to say. There wasn't really a clear starting point. In everything that I write, however, I find that I keep returning to the topic of solitude and confinement and seclusion. Limited amounts of money grants you access to everything, to people, to places, to experiences, but surely with that must come a sense of suspicion and paranoia and self-seclusion, and it was this friction, this dissonance that interested me first. How these two drives could coexist, this outward movement and this inward pull.
There's a wonderful line in the novel that's something like, the wealthier you are, the quieter it gets around you.
I feel that's the way I perceive it. It's a very layered thing, power. It's removal, a very effective form of removal, but removal nonetheless.
Your previous novel, In the Distance, is also about solitude in many ways, and it's a novel that is about the kind of American West. And I feel like you're often writing novels that touch on subjects that have a quality of mythology to them and that come with a mythology, often that is built in part from fiction, from pre-existing novels. I wonder if you could speak a little bit about how you position your novels in relation to that mythology, that canon of work.
That's such a great question. And I know different writers write from different places. I am not a testimonial writer, and my personal experiences do not constitute the primordial material out of which I draw my... It's inevitable that I will be on the page, but I view that as an error and as something undesirable. I am the sort of writer, and I'm not claiming any kind of hierarchies here, it's just whatever works for whichever writer. I happen to be the kind of writer who thinks that literature is made out of more literature. And I write facing tradition.